Welcome to Founders Future, a podcast powered by Closers.io, where we dive into the journeys of innovative entrepreneurs and explore the road ahead for them and their companies. I'm your host, Ammar Elm, and in each episode, we uncover the stories behind impactful ventures, the challenges faced along the way, and the strategies driving their future growth. Today, we are absolutely thrilled to be joined by Jonatan Blum, co-founder and AI solutions architect at Fraim, a forward-thinking AI automation consultancy focused on building custom AI-powered workflows and solutions that help businesses accelerate growth, automate lead qualification, optimize sales processes, and scale operations efficiently. Jonatan, welcome to Founders Future.
Thank you so much. Pleased to be here.
I'm excited to dive in. I always like to start from the beginning. So take me back to before you started Fraim. What were you doing before? And then what really motivated you to start the company?
Yeah, good question. Yeah, what can I say? I started my journey basically almost immediately with freelancing and marketing. So before doing AI, I did a lot of marketing for big crypto projects, some of the biggest names in the space. And I was doing a lot of content, social media marketing, and technical writing. So I was working with all of these different big technical infrastructures, working directly with computer scientists and founders who build these complicated products. So for years, I had gotten a very big technical know-how, but mainly in the marketing side to take the technical content and give that in an understandable manner for people. And then 2 years ago, when LLMs came into the scene with OpenAI and ChatGPT, I immediately saw a big value for this, but I wasn't sure how, and I knew that things are going to progress and there will be opportunities. But that there and then, I didn't do much. And then I was starting to understand how I can play with using LLMs with crypto. LLMs, for people who don't know, it's the ChatGPT that you use, how you're asking a question and it answers. And that can be actually used in so many different ways. I already started seeing the business opportunities. But when I learned about AI automation in N8N, because my weakness was not being able to code. I have a huge technical know-how. I'm not the developer, but N8N, which is the main platform I'm building on, it's a no-code platform that lets you basically do everything that a developer would be doing when it's connecting to different tools and building out different solutions for businesses. And that's exactly what I've been doing for the last 1 year. So learned that straight away and saw success immediately by taking my previous knowledge into this field, now with AI, now with solving business problems, and basically I have been doing that for 1 year now and learned a lot.
Nice, man. That's exciting. Let's give the listeners more context into Fraim and specifically what you guys do. Walk me through, who would you say is your ideal customer? Who do you love to work with?
It's a great question that for us as a startup, it's not always so defined right now. Basically, we have been focusing a lot on lead generation and qualification. So that is usually people in a startup phase, people who have maybe 5 employees or up to 20 employees who are looking to go to the next level. They are usually people who want to be employing AI automation. They are fast teams. They can implement innovative solutions and they can implement these things very fast. And we have built a wide variety of solutions, honestly too many, because a company should focus on a few things and do that in a good way. But we've seen success in this is a very creative field, so we've been doing a lot. And so basically it's a sort of startups, softwares, e-commerce brands even. And yeah, we've just seen industries from everywhere.
That's awesome. Okay, so the main general service is AI automation. You also mentioned lead gen qualification, but you also said there's a lot of solutions that you guys offer. What would you say are the main ones that have been driving revenue for Fraim?
Yeah, good question. So the main thing I think is AI voice callers. So right now it's a very trendy thing. Because LLM is like one aspect of it, which I've been talking about now, but putting a voice to the output, which is the answer, and now being able to converse with an AI in that manner actually has a lot of practical use cases, like being able to be an assistant, for example, for a dental company, or being a salesperson for a, for example, car dealership. And we have been implementing these solutions. And even on our own website, fraima.com, we have our own website voice agent, which answers questions and functions as if it was a chatbot, but with voice, and can even, for some companies, sell their products, but for ours, just answer questions about what we do. And people can actually try that right now too. So this is at least one of the high value solutions.
Nice. And then where can people go to try that?
It's a fraima.com. So that would be FRAIMA.com.
Got it. Walk me through when it comes to customer acquisition. So when you want to bring on more clients into your agency, what do you do from a lead generation and marketing standpoint?
Great question. So there are many different ways, and the way which is probably unique for us is how we use AI to basically get more done and automate everything. It's not changing strategies, but it's just doing the things that work better. And so, for example, whether that's creating posts on LinkedIn, on Twitter, what we have been building for ourselves, for example, is automated content flows, where we can even find other viral content or content that others have been doing very well, and then repurpose them for us and have the final step where we review that post and post it for us, right? So content creation. The other thing would be actual outreach. So there could be like systems where you get contact information for different companies and their LinkedIn, and you can either automate the process where you contact them on LinkedIn and or email. Now, of course, the most important thing in this day and age, I would say, because so many people are doing this now with AI automation, is to be genuine, is to be not salesy and not spammy, and almost even asking for permission to continue a conversation, because people are getting very much bombarded these days with AI automation, spamming and stuff.
100%. So with the outreach, is that like cold email? Is that LinkedIn outreach? Is it both? Is it something else? Walk me through that.
Yeah, it's a little bit of both. And from us, we've seen LinkedIn to be basically one of the best ones in terms of client acquisition. I would say Twitter works very well too, and Reddit. And all of these have their specific interest ways to get interest from people. And I would say that you really have to be genuine. You have to post very high quality content, and there has to be some human element. You can't automate this end to end. You have to ensure that the quality is good, that it's not, how some people say like GPT garbage, because without good prompting and good management, just taking whatever AI sends you without editing it isn't necessarily the best way to go. So there's like a level to it, but we've been using these platforms for sure.
Got it. Okay. I'm curious if you've thought about running ads and trying to get clients that way.
For sure. So we have not done that ourselves. We probably are going to do that very soon because we have some partnerships with someone. But regarding ads, it's an interesting topic because like you can't really automate that. There are some platforms, but what we have built actually for another client of ours, an automated ad analyzer and optimizer. For example, especially for e-commerce clients, maybe there are some listeners who are in that field. These e-commerce brands need to be posting hundreds of campaigns and posts a month, maybe even 1,000, to find that one winning ad that they can now scale and spend thousands of dollars on. Now, the way they go forth is by trial and error and analyzing the statistics. Now, with AI, you can just analyze this automatically, and you can even alert a person once there is an ad that they haven't scaled, but that has all the winnings and metrics to be scaled. And this is a very powerful thing that you can say, hey, this metric is gonna make you money if you just put more in it. And we had a client that we built this for, and if he wasn't optimizing his ads based on the results, he wouldn't have gone in profit, but he ended up in profit. So that was a very good case study.
Yeah. So with the ads, you mentioned partnerships. Is that like an agency that's going to do it for you, or what's the partnership there?
That's actually more of a mutual partnership where we're going to have a person who has been working in ads and scaling for 14 years, and we're going to build a product together that is co-owned and he's going to take care of scaling that, and we're going to take care of fulfilling that and building out the whole technical stuff for the clients.
Okay. So is that going to be the main focus, or are you still going to have the other solutions that you offer as well?
Yeah, it's also a good question, because I would say that AI is evolving so fast right now, and there are also so many things coming up. Not maybe it's not understandable for everyone, but we have so many balls running right now. For example, people have heard about vibe coding, right? You can now build an app in a matter of hours, and so we have many apps that we've been building that are sitting there. And so where Fraima's future is not entirely certain. There are some apps that could be the main focus. There is some partnerships. But what we know is that it's like something we are very passionate about experimenting. We have many different people we are working with, and hopefully there are some good solutions that bring value for people that we will be focusing on in the future. Yeah.
Got it. Now, so are you still trying to grow the current offerings as you're building out these different solutions, or what's the idea there?
That is still going to be a core part of Fraima. But we basically, the thing about this is that we are building custom solutions for companies, when in reality, these can also be apps that people can be using, right? So right now, people are coming with their problems, and people like us are solving them, but they could also just have access to an app that solved this for them, right? So there is a level of figuring out what's in the demand, but this sort of business consultancy and building out custom things is always going to be there, and we will always do that as an offering for companies. And because every company has different unique problems, and honestly, we love to solve problems. It's like a very much reward when you're able to, for example, automate something that took someone 10-15 hours, and they're really happy with the result, and you feel that you're doing good work, basically.
Yeah. What does your sales process look like? So when you have a lead, what are the different steps they go through for them to become a client?
Yeah, so we have the first meeting to understand their problems, and it depends. They can be in different stages. Usually they know what problem they have because they've been found or came to us. So they have a problem. They know this is possible to automate, and we are the ones who they choose to do that with. And they have a different way. And basically, we hear them out, we show them how that would be done, and then there might be some back and forth until we build that. And then there's an agreement of how this structure will work. For those people who are not really aware of anything regarding these sort of things, we would be auditing their workflows and how they operate things today. And we will be telling them that, hey, you can be saving 15 hours a week by this simple system we're going to build in, for example, 3 days for you. And that is something that is going to, in the end of after that, save you all these hours, save you money, increase your revenue, because either saving time or you can spend that elsewhere, or even in some situations, it's really increasing your costs. So it increases your revenue. There is a twofold, and it's a bit harder to work with people who don't know, but if they're open, there's so much opportunities for them too.
Yeah. I'm curious, when you think of your vision and where you want to take the company, what is the goal? Let's say the next 1-2 years, where do you want to be revenue-wise? What are some other goals you have? Walk me through that.
Yeah, that's a good question. And basically, the way we see it is that I can't necessarily speak in revenue-wise. Of course, we really want to be in a much more stable manner where we have consistent monthly revenue from both new clients, but especially clients we've been able to nurture long-term relationships with. And so there will be this arm of consultancy and building specific projects to them. But then there will also, which is our plan, these apps which we are building and figuring out, trying out to build at a low cost and very fast with AI. And then we are scaling them. And whether that's apps in themselves as websites, or whether those are custom solutions that can be built very fast, scaling that essentially will be the main thing. And that could be different things. But yeah, scaling that to a level where we don't have to actually fulfill so much. It all happens automatically, just like an app is doing, right? When you, for example, use any subscription, there are no humans involved. And that's where we want to be able to scale. Yeah.
Okay, so you don't really want to build a big team, do high ticket stuff. You want to just have the SaaS model where it's a little bit lower ticket and people can just subscribe on their own kind of thing?
As I said, like we're going to have both, but the goal is to have these apps be very successful. And if they will be, then I'm sure that they are going to take our main focus. But helping out clients with high ticket sort of problems is still something that we find like enjoyment in. I don't believe we will ever stop that, but we're definitely gonna keep that very exclusive to very high value problems if we've seen big success with our apps, because at the end of the day, you only have so much time.
For sure. What do you feel like is the biggest challenge you're facing right now to growing this even further?
Yeah, so as a startup, of course, we have challenges. Here I'm talking about all my visions, but there's definitely challenges, and it is to achieve consistent income. Right now, for example, it's we don't have that retainer revenue in. So once we have built a project for a company, that usually is a one-time price, and then there might be a small retainer, but that usually doesn't last forever. We have to keep a consistent volume of sales, and that is something that is, of course, challenging, and it's something we're actively working on. Now it's been going pretty all right so far, but you need to be you need to have at least 30, 40, 50% profit margins to be able to now scale and hire new people and possibly do ads. And so we are 2 people in the company so far. And yeah, this is where we want to be, to have that level of growth.
Yeah. What are you going to put in place to just build in more predictability when it comes to the sales, when it comes to the retainer model? What do you feel like are the immediate next steps?
Great question. And this is probably valuable for anyone who is doing a business and there's more than one person in that business. It is to separate the roles in your company and ensure that people do exactly what they should be focusing on. So there's me and my co-founder, and we've recently been splitting into him focusing on the fulfillment technical side and the product delivery role and actually doing most of the work, and I'm there doing most of the sales and the meetings and the sort of front end stuff, right? Getting the clients, talking with them, understanding their problems, and then closing them, taking them to my co-founder. And when you have these separate areas of focus, now the one person can do 100% level and the other person can do 100%, as opposed to 50-50, it gets scattered, and there's not, even if you can mathematically say both are doing 50, it will end up being much less. So this is like a high level tips for everyone.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great point. What is the best way for people to reach out to you guys to work with you?
The best way is on our website, I think, fraim.com. There are some fields there you can reach out. Also on LinkedIn, my name is Jonatan Blum. So you can reach out to me there anytime. If you say that you watched this podcast, I would even more reach out back. Yeah, that should be it.
Awesome. Any final words before we wrap up?
I'm not sure what could be the final words, just like about AI automation, and AI is giving tremendous value for businesses these days. And in a way, I don't want this to sound cliche. People are being able to do so much more than their competitors when they implement AI. And if anyone is interested in just figuring out how this could be done for their business totally free of charge, this is something that we also offer as free strategy calls. And or they can do their own research and they will be well on their way.
Awesome. Jonatan, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
Yeah. So that wraps up another inspiring episode of Founders Future. To our listeners, if you enjoyed this episode, make sure to go to fraima.com. That's FRAIMA.com. And if you are a business owner, specifically a coach, consultant, or agency owner, and you're really looking to scale your business and you want to enhance your sales and marketing efforts, visit closers.io to hop on a call with our team and discover how we went from 0 to $30 million per year in less than 3 years. Until then, keep on climbing.